As you know, Bayern Munich's Jamal Musiala suffered a serious injury during the quarterfinal matchup versus PSG in the Club World Cup yesterday. There's been an outpouring of support for the player, wishing him a speedy recovery. There's been a bit of a back and forth as well, and some discourse even in the studio as to what Manuel Neuer had to say about this with you guys. Anyway, here is another goalkeeper who's waded in on it. It's Thibaut Courtois, who said, "Blaming Donnarumma seems excessive to me. Goalkeepers will go for the ball. Attackers don't hold back when they come towards us either. It's a stroke of bad luck. It hurts him, Neuer, more because it's his teammate, but Donnarumma isn't responsible."
So, keep me up to speed here. You mentioned the word discourse in the studio. Where are we? Where are we on the discourse?
Jan Fjortov said Neuer had every right to be upset because he was defending his teammate and all this sort of stuff. And we all argued that Donnarumma wasn't at fault for this. Donnarumma had every right to go to the ball.
Neuer said you don't have to go in like that.
Neuer, when I saw this quote, actually, yesterday, and by the way, the game, particularly the last 20 minutes of that game, it was just bonkers as PSG get 2 sent off. This was absolute. Manuel Neuer is. Sometimes players just open their mouth, and I get the emotion. Sometimes we've all unfortunately seen players on the field with a bad injury. But as Robert said, anybody watching that knew that a goalkeeper coming out fast to stop a play is not a new thing. He had absolutely it's an occupational hazard, unfortunately, that these incidents happen. And it was a really bad dislocation by the looks of it. But Manuel Neuer here is talking the biggest load of nonsense. He should know better.
And he's got a very short memory, because there's a game against Leverkusen where he got sent off in the cup, where he comes for a ball over the top, he comes charging out, and he's got his knee and his foot high up against the centre forward, whatever it was, I can't remember at the time, and he gets himself sent off. And he's, OK, I've got sent off. That was reckless, that was dangerous. What Donnarumma did, he had to go for the ball, and he didn't do anything wrong.
That's akin to saying another player's, he hasn't intently caused it, but he's basically said, you've caused that by an action that you didn't need to do. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
He's the only person on the planet that thinks that.
No, and the chief executive.
No, that's 3 people.
Oh, wait a minute.
Jan, sorry, Jan.
Oh, sorry, they're to do with Bayern, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a shock. I mean, I don't understand, what does Neuer think that Donnarumma's supposed to do? The one way you will get hurt is if you don't go fully. So what's Donnarumma supposed to go? He's talking about, well, he shouldn't have gone for it that way. Or is he talking about he should have went for it half-hearted? Or, I mean, what is he talking about? It's just complete garbage. It's just one of those things. It's unfortunate, and he's opened his trap.
And Donnarumma feels bad about it himself. Well, it's only going to make things worse. Now he's going to have half the German population against him, and because he was booed every time he got the ball, it's not going to go down well.
Yeah, he's a big lad.
Do you agree with the guys, Frank?
I do. When I saw that coming, I screamed because I saw Musiala keeping on going, and I saw his leg coming down or below Donnarumma. But Donnarumma goes for the ball. I mean, it takes more risk for a goalkeeper to go like that because he has to dive and he has to put his head on the level of the legs of the players. So it's very dangerous for goalkeepers. But you cannot blame him. You can blame Pickford on Van Dijk's injury, but you cannot blame Donnarumma on Musiala injury. I'm sad for Musiala. We know the history of the player, just came back, blah, blah, blah. But Donnarumma just did his job. And I saw that on networks, social networks. And I say, people are so stupid. The guy is a professional player. He goes for the ball. He has to dive. And the consequences of his dive made Musiala's injuries, but not on purpose. That's absolutely, as Stevie said, unfortunate.
So, Jules, what did Bayern do now? Because Jamal Musiala is going to be out for an extended period. Leroy Sané's gone. Muller's ended his career with Bayern. What happens next for them?
They need to recruit, but the problem is they've struggled really this summer to get the players that they want, or just even players full stop, to strengthen that squad really even more now with the departures, with the injuries, all of that. We're not sure what's going to happen with Sacha Boey, for example, who's not a starter but can play right back, left back, as we saw in the PSG game. And if he goes, then he will also have to be replaced. Stanisic picked up an injury in that PSG game. it's a hamstring injury, so that's no problem. But still, you need more numbers, you need more bodies. And from Nico Williams to Bradley Barcola, they've tried already many players to play on that left-hand side to replace Sané in terms of number in the squad. Could not get anybody. Now they need that left winger. They need a number 10. They need probably, to be fair, another striker as well, considering Müller has left and Müller could play as a 10, as a second striker. Matistel has been sold to Spurs too. So you could argue they short 3 players in attacking position just to start with that, let alone maybe another defensive midfielder, let alone maybe another defender. Palhinha is on his way out too. So, and we are mid-July already, pretty much. So there's urgency massively for Bayern to sign players now.
Football's an ironic business, isn't it? Because, here we have one of the most talented players in world football. Jamal Musiala has been for a good 3 years or so now, maybe a bit more, who's going to be missing for half the season at least, unfortunately. And we saw and have seen for the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen propel them to a title. For all the will in the world, he was going to leave Leverkusen at some point and go to Bayern.
And the two wouldn't be able to play together, some people said, didn't they? But it was rubbish anyway.
Yeah, well, there was going to be an issue with the balance in the side if he went there, because you've got 2 sort of superstars. They have played together at Germany, but that's a different scenario. But he goes to Liverpool, albeit he said he wanted to go to Liverpool. But, the noise is coming from Bayern, Ole Hoeneß and all the usual cohorts where we're going to get Florian Wirtz. And then you lose the player that Florian Wirtz would have came straight in and replaced. It's an ironic business, but he would have been perfect for them, as he is going to be for Liverpool. But you just don't have that crystal ball when you're in a football dressing room, because you don't know what's around the corner and what's going to happen.
Yeah, that is true. One thing we can find out what's going to happen on now, because we have Jules with us, is the Gab and Jules podcast, though, Jules. What's on the menu for the latest edition that's coming up?
It's tomorrow. We'll talk about the Club World Cup, obviously, because all those big games, the PSG Bayern game will be the main segment, and then a bit of Real Madrid, previewing the semi-finals as well. Both very interesting ones between Fluminense and Chelsea, and PSG and PSG and Real Madrid, of course, the Mbappe derby.
Oh, okay, yeah, we look forward